Hi, and welcome to another edition of the Sustainable Scoop. I'm Miriam Gennari, and I'm here on location at Tech Shop DC with Leaders in Energy in Arlington Green, and we're going to be talking about the maker and manufacturing movement here in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And now I'm here with Gadsten Merrill. He is the general manager of Tech Shop DC. Welcome, Gadsten.
Thank you.
Thanks for actually having and hosting this event.
Absolutely, we're happy to host.
Well, now, if you could just share with me, I mean, you've got members coming with all kinds of dreams and ideas, but how do you feel like the tech shop concept nationally, but really here in DC, is allowing innovators to bring their ideas and share their ideas and actually launch businesses?
Yeah, so we're always happy to talk about the equipment and software we provide, and that's easy to quantify in terms of numbers of like dollars and square feet. But I think that one of the most valuable things you find in Tech Shop is access to an incredible community of entrepreneurs, experts, artists, makers, students, a huge range of skills and expertise. And I think that the collaboration that comes out of that is really unparalleled almost anywhere else.
I have to agree with you. Now tell me, you yourself are an engineer.
Yeah, biochemistry was my degree.
So what was it that brought you and your talents to Tech Shop?
Just community again of like-minded people, makers, artists, etc. But also chance to grow. There's like an unlimited set of skills you can learn. It's just really you get out what you put in.
Okay. And how many members do you have here at the shop right now?
Great question. If you include everybody, including all of our staff and instructors, it's just over 1,000.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, and how do you keep that balance between bringing in new members and training new people? And
yeah, I mean, it's the more the merrier, really.
Okay, well that's great. Thanks so much for having this event here.
My pleasure.
You do so many wonderful events, and so I look
you.
forward to coming back and seeing you again.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Gab.
Absolutely.
We're here at Tech Shop. How better can that be? What, $1 million of equipment here for the maker economy? We're going to need technology solutions. We're going to need social innovation solutions. And what did we just see? Did you guys see that article I posted yesterday? New York Times article featuring Crystal City as a rocking, happening place, being, an innovation space of all kinds of creativity and excitement.
As Janine noted, I'm the founder of a group called Arlington Green, which is a sustainable community development effort that I've been overseeing for about the last year here in Arlington. And our mission is to continue to make Arlington a sustainable place to do business, live and work. And we do this through education, outreach, and engagement. So Janine's group, Leaders in Energy, places like Tech Shop are the kinds of groups and organizations that Arlington Green seeks to engage and work with to spread the good word about sustainability in Arlington.
I really appreciate having you guys out here, and as Janine said, being a leader in energy ourselves as an organization, but also our entire membership and the maker community is something that Tech Shop is really committed to. The purpose of Tech Shop really is to empower each community that we go into. That's why the economic evaluation that we do when we go into a community isn't dependent upon whether or not the community itself has a high socioeconomic standing. While the DC area is very favorable, one of our early investments in putting a location was Detroit, and we are currently looking at expanding into Puerto Rico so that we can assist with the economic development on the local level there. So that's something that we're truly committed to, and we feel very privileged to draw members like Miriam Gennari into our space who are already doing so many wonderful things for not just local level communities, but also the world as a whole with activism in styrofoam and plastics and just all the rest of the things that you do. But she's also brought to us so many great partnerships like Leaders in Energy and the Arlington Green. So we really appreciate you guys choosing us to host your event. And to your speakers, thank you so much for coming out. And we'll be giving tours at the end of the event, but it's just a blast to have you guys here. Thank you.
This is really great. I got a chance to tour here informally last year with a group of about 70 people. So we didn't really get to see very much. So I enjoy this opportunity kind of in the evening, and we'll have a chance to go and investigate what's going on outside of these walls a a little bit more. But I bring you greetings from the Arlington County Board, and this is an invitation that I was thrilled to accept because this is one of the spaces that we are incredibly proud of. We're proud that Tech Shop is located here in Arlington. We think it says a lot about our community, as the Times has recognized. It's part of a growing vibrancy in Crystal City, but that we hope to replicate throughout Arlington.
So working with cities of all different shapes and sizes, working with places like Arlington County, who are interested in being very thoughtful about how they were making a place where people can live, people can work, where we can have a sustainable environment, people can walk or bike places, that there's housing options, transportation options. I did that at the federal level, I did it at the nonprofit level, and I realized that there was a piece missing. And it was the role of the business community. Not the business community that occupied those offices, but the business community that's the sustainable base of a place. And those are really our small businesses. And I had been involved in the maker movement and was here when Tech Shop opened and had always been enamored by the world of people who make things. And I realized over these last 5 years that there was a growing community of small businesses that made stuff again, right? They made things out of textiles. They made things out of wood, out of metal. They made food products. They made hardware, and they were making it here.
I did a survey with a colleague of mine of what is underserved, what's not being served here in the DC market. And there's a distinct lack of services and support for very early stage, concept only, a long way from revenue, energy solutions companies. It really is. There's a pillar at 1776, but that's for companies, I think, closer to matching their VC fund criteria. And so we just sort of opened our doors at the beginning of 2015 and said, hey, let's create this community. It's based on 3 significant groups of constituents. One is finding the entrepreneurs. 2 is finding the funding for those entrepreneurs. And then the third thing is bringing the policy world into what we're working on. So I can tell you the only reason why I'm dressed up tonight is because I was at the White House. All right, cool. But it starts very much on the top down of bringing in the policy element of what's going on, because it's absolutely critical to the infrastructure of the company, and energy plays a part in that. So hence, we started Potential Energy. We ended 2015 with 15 members, and I was only doing it a quarter of my time. We have a goal this year to double, to get up to 30 members, and we're on track through our first quarter. So it's going really well.
But it wasn't until I walked down Crystal Drive and I peered into Tech Shop and I saw what was happening in here. And I have to admit, this is my zip code. So I felt very fortunate that they chose to invest here. But when I went inside and I ran into people like Rustam, who is a DC here at Tech Shop. He's a dream consultant. He's also an instructor. He's also an entrepreneur that's building his own solar company. Chris walked out of here. He's a NASA engineer that's also running a part-time business out of Tech Shop. Daniel was just here a moment ago, and he's building a 3D printer. And so amongst this very intelligent group of men and women, I started to pose the problem and the idea. And the truth was, it wasn't that complicated, and that it could be done. Now, sure, there are some challenges, because I want to recycle EPS locally. I don't want it shipped somewhere else. I want the expanded polystyrene to be shrunken, condensed, and then pelletized so that we can put it into the injection molder that's out there that takes polystyrene and make a new product. And I can do that here at Tech Shop. It's been a wonderful evening here at the DC Tech Shop with leaders in energy and the Arlington Greens. We've been talking about the maker movement and manufacturing in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. There's a tremendous amount of excitement and great potential, and I look forward to continuing to follow this story on the Sustainable Scoop. Thanks for joining me. Back to the news desk.